I think I failed to explain in that previous fight with the enemy that had 5 boys and the flying enemies that had no boys. Pretty sure the idea there was to knock the enemies into... the flying ones into the big boys guy. Which they seem to approach that aspect of the combat in a sort of puzzly fashion, which I don't necessarily mind. Though I can't say the fights in which that comes into play make up for poise perhaps being inferior to stagger. Another thing I noticed, maybe this does poise damage? The shockwave on sheer descent. I'll try that here. Alright, back already? There's a knight from the church here, going on about some kind of treasure. I know. I saw it on the telecom. Maybe it's worth following them to see what this treasure nonsense is about. Yeah, that's the same. So now I can air step. So I can get up here more easily. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of earlier. Yeah, I am pretty sure the map wasn't supposed to appear at all until I picked up that item. Who knows, maybe having beaten the game before, something's up with that. I should be dashing to move around faster. Pretty sure I wasn't up here with the, yeah. With the air step. I'm pretty sure treasure chests don't count towards completion, but you end up having to get most of them anyway. Because you do need to get a lot of the stuff that's for sale in the town, for example. Okay, this. That's right. I don't think I could get up here before. Get out of here, plant. I think this game's good at the little things. I don't mind the environments, the fact that Vernal has unique lines for most of those vines. Heh, that rhymes. But I still don't think that as a whole it really is much more than the sum of its parts. Okay, what do we got? Oh, these things. It's unfortunately very common for enemies to have obnoxiously huge range in this game. Almost a disaster. That's a cage you gotta break or else you take unavoidable damage. Can't block these skulls. I think the enemy at the end of the first island is also kind of showcasing that. Ah. At least he has 2 poison, I can break it immediately. That's a huge help. Though I gotta be careful, it can still hit me before I manage to get the attack off. Oh yeah, the cage sticks around even if you kill that guy. Or does it? It seemed like it. Oh, maybe during his death animation or something like that. I think they had another weird move that requires a block or dash. I also didn't explain because I think it's obvious, but the dash has brief iframes. Oh, these guys. I almost forgot about them. Yeah, this is a problem. Very annoying, these guys. That's the thing is, particularly great enemy design in something like Devil May Cry is a rarity. Like, just because an enemy's threatening, I don't think that makes it particularly good or anything. These guys are such a pain. It's not enough that an enemy kills me, it's that engaging with an enemy is compelling. Damn it. In this particular instance, where the hell is my opening to do anything? I didn't want to die, but that was getting pretty tedious. Those guys are exposed when they throw their weapon. They don't block while they're in the middle of an animation, but when there's 4 of them like that, I think... Oh, I didn't touch save point, did I? Well, that's not great. Yeah, like, why did I ignore that? And I also could have... Yeah, the map doesn't persist in between loads. Makes enough sense, I guess. I'll give it another try. Oh right, those also don't stagger you. Don't really understand why, but not complaining. It does also mean that you can kind of take chain damage from skills like that. Keep reminding myself that oh yeah, enemies have slight iframes when getting up. Recovering from a stun, that is. Nope. Oh, I hit the Reaper enemy while it was still dying. Worth noting when I was talking about it's not clear what these enemies are. Like, yeah, they're vague monsters, but these more abstract looking enemies are supposed to be something, and I only realized that like right at the end of the game. It's never really explained how they work or why. Oh yeah, you can make them block and then attack them from behind. Maybe I was kind of forgetting the right way to deal with them. Damn. Okay, got him. Also not a fan how they can just go straight into that spammy move to keep you at bay. Okay, that was it. Alright. Oh yeah, I remember piercing, right? Okay, I'm pretty sure that does poise damage, so that's nice. I guess I can have it on down. I'm used to the other ones now. So, that's piercing, right? It's diagonally up if you're on the ground, or down if you're in the air and it bounces. I think it only bounces once. Yeah, it should deal poise damage, and that's all I care about, pretty much. Will admit I kind of forgot how to deal with those enemies there on that last wave. Not as bad now that I remember. Is there anything else over? No. No, yeah, that's it. If there were some items, I'm not sure I can even get them yet. Here's an example of an enemy that respawns and gives money. It's not in a close combat encounter. I really failed to see the point. There might be one specific instance where you can air step off an enemy to get to something. But even then I would just have an enemy that doesn't give any currency so that that situation can work. Because I value collectibles and currency being finite. I guess I talked about that with Spyro the Dragon. So about this specific enemy, the best way I can describe what it is look at your hand, extend your index finger and your thumb in opposite directions, sort of curved in a semicircle. And imagine your remaining 3 fingers are this thing's rib cage. That's what it is. It's a hand. Kind of a cool design, but I never picked up on it. What does it mean that it's a hand? Maybe you'll see later. Okay, I think this was some kind of side thing. Possibly. I suppose the last hit of the combo does at least knock enemies away, so it has some kind of property. But what I said about poise definitely still applies. That was lucky. I hit the stunned enemy into the other enemy, and I simultaneously hit the other enemy directly with the charge attack. And if that didn't happen, I wouldn't have stunned the enemy that was about to hit me. Let's see if I can snipe this thing out of the air. Yep, there's damage. Should be trying to experiment for the viewer's sake, right? I did eventually settle on the dominant strategy. You also have 5 poise, of course you do. That was not right. I blocked in the wrong direction. That was very bad. And yeah, the knockback does also deal some damage, so that's good. Had to focus up there, hence the silence. 2 poise this time. What about you guys? 3. Oh, but that guy has to... this is ridiculous. Like, the more... I forgot how many examples there are of this weird inconsistency. I did check the settings, by the way. I don't think there's any way to show enemy poise at all times. Unless I missed it, in which case, please let me know. That would make things significantly better. They're wider than I think they are. On cooldowns, I have to agree with sort of a consensus among action game fans that cooldowns suck. Because it means you don't always have access to all of your abilities, and as a form of balancing, it's ineffective. This game has the problem where probably the most powerful spell, you can just kind of spam it and win in most cases. Oh, right, I need to go down first. And I think I can grab this now, with a little bit of creativity. Yep. Not that I need it. Ah. Right. I'll try not to kill any enemies that are not in a locked combat encounter to potentially prove a point. But yeah, the most powerful spell is not balanced by the fact that it uses up a lot of mana and thus triggers the cooldown very often, because I can just stall. Stalling is easy. So any semblance that's meant, any semblance of balance that's meant to come about from that doesn't really work. They had it right with Pulse, where it can only be built up by attacking enemies, so you can't just waste time until it recovers. And maybe they didn't want spells and Pulse to work the same way, but as it stands, I think it would be better if they did. Alright. These guys just kind of blow themselves up. No poise on the Reaper. Okay then. That was close. Yeah, the enemy design in this game is just... like, these guys on the ground are not interesting in the slightest, but the fact that one of their attacks covers all of the ground manages to make them threatening, but not in an interesting way. So I end up having to respect a very boring enemy, which is not the most fun thing in the world. I guess the variable poise helps me demonstrate how this almost mini-boss tier enemy that has a lot of different moves is just completely ineffectual because I just stun lock him. Now, speaking of that dominant spell, I don't actually remember where it is. Not that I'm looking forward to abusing it, but... also, while I was looking at the save files before starting this recording, sort of realized this playthrough's gonna be really long. Which I'm fine with, but maybe I could do longer videos. Oh, I thought there was a drop there. Okay. Seem to remember there being something between this level and the lower one. Oh wait, I think I see it. It's on the opposite side. Maybe when I drop down I'll try to grab it. It was like a chest or something. Maybe a memory point, maybe something else. You again. You're still here? I'm impressed you weren't scared off by those monsters. Although I did thin their numbers quite a bit for you. And I thought you weren't interested in the treasure. Oh, I get it. You're just following me so you can sneakily grab it for yourself. A clever plan, but I've seen through it. Oh my god, shut up. No matter, I'll certainly arrive at the treasure before you anyway. Was there a combat encounter here? Huh. Or was it... I guess all these wide areas just make me think that there should be. Arboretum key. I believe there was something up here, but I don't know if it's actually possible to get it just yet. Maybe with that upward move that I've mentioned multiple times now. Yeah, I don't have any way of gaining elevation besides air stepping off the wall. Not even on the way back. Huh. Maybe I was just misremembering that. So the locked door was down there, yeah. Okay. Actually, on the map you can see just how much area there is above there. That's why I thought that's where the knight was going, especially since at the end of the cutscene he walked off in that direction, so I thought he just climbed up, but I don't think that's where he actually went. Which is a little confusing. Wait, should I try for the... yeah. I'll try for whatever was here. Could at least catch a glimpse of it if I end up falling. Yeah, I don't think it's possible just yet. Because if I dashed, I'd still need more height. Even if I fell from above. Alright then. Something for the cleanup video, perhaps. That's where the key goes. Could buy quite a bit of stuff. One more out of the way. I forgot to mention that when you press the pulse key and you throw the... oh, I don't have enough pulse. If you press the key again while... ah, what the heck, these guys are good enough training dummies. Without holding a direction, so a neutral press just returns it to you. Technically it's a ranged attack if you want to spam it, but that would be really tedious and bad. I would not recommend it. It just leads down there. I'm pretty sure there's nothing. This is sort of a recurring puzzle slash challenge element. I think to reach that chest, you're supposed to jump off of that, yeah. Before moving it into position as you're supposed to. It's a bit easy to land on it instead of moving next to it in midair to hit it. However, what did this one do? I can't actually remember. Or were there multiple ones to hit? Yeah, I think maybe you had to do all of them. And there's this one. Alright. It's as simple as that. I could kill this enemy so it's not in my way, but It's fine. Was there something up here? Sure is. Could even see the glow. That was very suspicious looking. Yeah. Just had to do all of them. And I think this, maybe by the lack of music, you can tell is sort of a build-up to something. This really is a very pretty game. Especially like the parallax. Even the foreground, like grass layer there. That sort of implies more 3D space towards the screen. Okay then. Looks like, despite your best efforts to thwart me, I've reached the treasure first. Now I can finally get away from that damn church, away from these stupid islands. Corrupt Knight. Oh, look at the scrolling words there on the boss intro, they're kinda cool. There's not much, if any, explanation for this. I guess the vegetation here is more than just an obstacle. Maybe it's more intelligent and dangerous. Bosses, much like enemies, have poise. And still not the biggest fan of it, but it's not as egregious because you fight bosses one-on-one, so it makes sense that they wouldn't be stunned immediately, because that would be kind of absurd. I kind of messed that up. I was going to keep the combo going. He's on the move a lot, so... That was a bit closer to what I had intended there. And yeah, that's a cool transition. This game does love its one-on-one duels. I don't really, but it's fine. I do enjoy these fights enough. That's what I mean about the charge attacks. Like, I just want to get in and hit him with a charged attack, but it's... that alone is a liability. It should be good. Should be hitting him with that as much as I can. It's a safe way to get rid of his poise. Are you being so passive there? That was really bad. Really dropped the ball there. Apologies. The game does mostly auto-skip cutscenes after the first time, which is always appreciated. Hey, you can't interrupt his attacks like that. Of all things, I was not expecting him to just walk forward. Come on. Yeah, that's what I was hoping he would do. I think the only reason I feel somewhat knowledgeable about this game is that it's kind of obscure. There are times where I'm almost certain I could be doing more than I am. Alright. Metal frame. Hello. I've seen what happened through the telecom. Very interesting. Sure, but it's not like we're any closer to Asphodel. Not directly, but I like to study that artifact you found. It could prove useful. Seems useless to me, but fine. For now, however, let us take our search elsewhere. Wait, I want to say research there. Even now, he still has the same dialogue. Yeah, that was the Arboretum. You kind of get warped here after the boss. There are reasons to come back, like that one item I couldn't reach. And possibly something else I missed. Like maybe there's a false wall in here somewhere. Can't quite remember. Worth noting, the bosses are exactly the same on Vicious when compared to Hard. As far as I can tell, they hit pretty hard. I think they have more poise. Like, maybe I seem to remember watching some videos that weren't on Hard or Vicious. So that could be a thing. Or I could be wrong and you just take less damage and deal more on the lower difficulties. I don't remember what I should do next, but we'll see. I guess I could call this semi-blind. Sort of. Anyway, thank you for watching.